How to make your first $1 million before the age of 30. Hey everyone, my name is John Lee, also known as the Property Shark. Thank you so much and welcome back to my channel. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell for all of my up and coming videos. Now today, I really want to talk about the topic of how to make $1 million. And I'm sure everyone has their own tips and advice when it comes to it. And the goal here is to give you the mindset to be able to create long-term wealth. Now, I've always thought about creating long-term wealth from an early age on. I've always been an avid reader. I read a lot of biography books of successful entrepreneurs and business owners. Read a lot of books about Warren Buffett, The Snowball Effect, his autobiography. Read about The Intelligent Investor. Read about some of the other investment books that are big that are out there as well. And if you ask people the question, how to make $1 million, you might get a lot of different answers. Some people would say, get a higher salary. Some people would say, find multiple income streams. Some people would say, save up your money. I found the best way to do it, and I feel like this is the best time to dive into this topic as well. You probably don't want to miss my last couple of videos. We talked about the market, the financial market. We talked about the top 10 stocks to buy, so make sure you check those out as well. I'll link them down below. But really I want to talk about investing. So when it comes to investing, there's a really important factor that is unbelievable, and even Albert Einstein said that this particular subject or theory that I'm going to introduce to you guys today is actually the greatest invention by mankind. And if you're guessing compound interest, you're absolutely correct. So yeah, Albert Einstein did say that compound interest is the most phenomenal invention of mankind in the history of mankind. So if we take things into perspective, let's say you're able to save up $100 a month. To get to $1 million, it would take you about 46 years. Now, let's look at Warren Buffett. He is the fourth wealthiest individual. Definitely, maybe not the fourth, but he's still up there because definitely his net worth took a big hit along with the financial markets that corrected. His net worth is actually around $66.7 billion US. Warren Buffett once said the greatest secret to blowing up his wealth and creating wealth is leveraging compound interest to become wealthy. And he was actually an entrepreneur from an early age on. Even if you read his autobiography, which I strongly recommend, he was selling pop and candy to his classmates in school, and he saved up every penny that he made and he invested it back into the stock market from a very early age on. Now today he is world renowned. He's a very famous investor and very successful, perhaps the most successful investor in the world right now. And a lot of people might have doubts about investing in terms of, am I investing too late, or the stock market's too high, the prices are too high right now. What time is the best time to invest? And my honest, transparent answer to you is there's no better time to invest than right now. You've heard it right. Right now is the best time to invest, because when it comes to leveraging compound interest, there is a very important asset and factor that comes into play, and that is called time. So time is the most valuable asset when you're looking at fully being able to leverage the effects of compound interest. And let's go back to our example of saving $100 a month for 46 years will get you to $1 million. Well, what if you save just $200? If you save $200, you would be able to save up that amount of money in about 39 years, give or take. And if you save up around $300 a month, you would be able to get to $1 million in about 34 years. And let's just continue on our compound interest example. Let's say for 46 years you could save up $1 million. If you invest that money back in about 50 years time, that 1 million will turn into 1.5 million. If you keep that money invested back, 53 years will get you to 2 million. 55 years you would be at 2.5 million, and 58 years you will get to $3.3 million. Now, that's the amazing effect of compound interest because it grows at an exponential rate. So definitely the first $1 million would take the longest amount of time, and after that you would just go up exponentially. So from 46 years to 58 years you would go from $1 million to $3.3 million, which is absolutely amazing. And a lot of people are thinking too, John, I don't have that much time at all. I mean, I'm 24 right now. If I save up 40 years, if I save up even 39 years or 34 years, I'll be close to 50, 60. Or for some other people, if they're in their mid-30s, mid-40s, they'll be pushing 70, 80. John, what am I going to do with all that money and wealth when I'm at that age? I'm not going to be able to enjoy it, to be honest with you. I'm not really going to be able to utilize that money to the fullest potential. So what's the point of that? So, it's really important that you really find a way to maximize the amount of money that you can invest back on a monthly basis. And by doing so, you can reduce the amount of years that it'll take for you to get to $1 million drastically. And on that note, I really wanted to touch on a very important point because especially myself, I grew up, in Taiwan, and in a lot of Asian cultures or in the Asian society, school, your parents, they teach you about saving money. First of all, there's definitely the importance of doing well in school, getting good grades. If you get good grades, you would go to a good school. If you go to a good school, then you would get a great job at a great company, and it's high paying. And once you have a high paying job, you would be deemed successful, and you would be wealthy. Well, that's not really the case, because if you think about it, the higher amount of income you make, the higher tax bracket you're actually in. So you have to end up paying more taxes back. And by doing so, you're actually not keeping a lot of money than you anticipate. So, it's really important that when we think about making money, not only do we want to think about the money that we bring in and we exchange our time and knowledge for, but also we think about investing as well. And you might say, John, well, I have a good paying job. Yes, I'm paying a lot of taxes, but I feel safer if I save my money, which is true. A lot of people have this misconception that if you save your money, it's safer. You'll be able to earn interest, right? Which is great. However, if you really factor in the effect of depreciation and inflation combined, your money would shrink between, I would say, 1.5 to 3% on an annual basis. And definitely if you put your money in a high interest savings account, you might be able to get 2%, but most banks will probably give you around 0.5 to 2%, give or take. So if you're keeping your money in the banks, you're actually losing money, because if you factor in inflation, you're really not making that much money. In fact, you're losing money, and you're doing yourself a disservice by keeping that money in the bank accounts, if it makes sense, because the interest that you make isn't enough to cover up for inflation. So that's something that you really want to keep in mind when it comes to saving your money. And let's just start there. Let's stop this video there. I just wanted to give all of you a brief rundown of how you can get to $1 million, how you to make your first $1 million by the age of 30. I'm 24 right now, so that'll give me about 6 years time to get there. And this is a great topic that I want to bring about to your attention because, hey, the financial markets have corrected drastically. This is definitely, I would say, this is probably a good time to look into investing. Definitely do your homework before you invest. This is just my own personal opinion. I could be wrong, I could be right. And really, no one knows how to exactly time the market. No one knows if the market is going to continue to go up or if it'll correct down. So it's your hard-earned money. Make sure you do your homework, you do your due diligence before you throw any amount of money back into the stock market. But in my personal opinion, there's no better time than right now to invest. And definitely make sure you leverage the effect of compound interest with your investments. And if you're saving your money right now, which is great, savings accounts are great. And in another video, I talked about having an emergency fund, especially in a time of pandemic and crisis like this. You want to make sure you have a healthy savings amount, an emergency account, which is high liquidity and easy to access. So that money I would park in the savings account. But for any additional amount of monies that I have, I would really consider learning about investing and putting it back in the stock market, because other than your emergency fund, you're really not making money, even if you think you are, because the interest made cannot account for the inflation and the depreciation of the amount of money that you keep in that account. So just some food for thought, and definitely don't forget to hit the like button if you found some value. And essentially, if you're able to leverage compound interest correctly, you can shorten the time gap, right? I told you it takes about 46 years. If you save $100, reinvest that over 46 years, you'll get $10 million. If you're able to leverage compound interest and accelerate the growth by investing it correctly in the market, that's how you can really accelerate the growth of your net worth and wealth. And this is the best time to do it right now. So definitely do your homework, do more research, and hit the subscribe button and notification bell if you want more information, more content. I'm definitely gonna be tracking my investment journey on this channel for you guys to follow along. Again, this is just for educational purposes, and this is primarily my own personal opinion. I'm not an expert by all means. I'm kind of learning as I go, and the point of me creating these videos is to share my journey with you, and hopefully you can take away a thing or two from it, apply it to your own investments, and to help you really get to $1 million and be wealthy. So thanks again for watching. I really appreciate all of you. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, don't forget to drop a comment down below, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care, everyone. Bye.